Murdered, dismembered, and nameless woman now identified thanks to some good detective work. This is Ada Fritz. She's been known as Jane Doe since her body was found in Grand Bay back in 1976. Fox News' Shelby Myers now joining us live from the sheriff's office with an update to this story. And Shelby, investigators say they never gave up on Ada Fritz.
No, they sure did not, Byron. The case was reopened 2 years ago, and thanks to some fresh eyes on this file, a detective was able to find a dental mold that still had the tiniest bit of DNA in there, but it was enough to identify the Jane Doe as Ada Fritz. This is Ada Fritz. She looks happy and carefree here, posing with her brother. The photo likely taken sometime in the 40s. No clue that some 30 years later, the end of her life would be horrific. According to the Mobile County Sheriff's Office, teenage boys found Fritz's body in Sessions Creek off of Potter Tract Road in Grand Bay in May of 1976. The 62-year-old had been shot in the back of the head, her hands were cut off, and she was wrapped in trash bags and dumped in the water. Last January, I interviewed one of those teenagers who found her.
Even though I was 14 years old, it freaked me out that bad. I had to sleep on the floor in my parents' room.
Until today, nobody knew whose body it was. Her case sat cold for close to 50 years. Last year, the Mobile County Sheriff's Office released this new sketch of what she might have looked like, hoping someone would recognize her. And this year, despite her body being cremated and placed in a mass grave with others, Sergeant Johnny Thornton found a dental mold in her file that still had some dead skin on it. That DNA was sent off to a lab and a profile was created. Using genealogical research, cold case specialist Olivia McCarter was able to link a family tree to the woman and ID her as Ada Fritz. McCarter says Fritz never had any kids, and her only living relative is a nephew who lives out of state. McCarter says the woman was likely visiting Grand Bay on a fishing trip, something she loved to do. She was originally from Oregon. It's unclear why she was murdered, but the sheriff's office does think they know who did it. Henderson Williams, but he's not talking. He died in a Mississippi prison in 2008. Henderson was convicted of the murder of his own mother. She died a death similar to Fritz's. Henderson killed his mother, cut off her hands, and placed her in a body of water, also in Grand Bay. Well, it really is incredible just what modern technology with DNA can be done now to solve these cases. Stay with Fox 10 News tomorrow. We're actually going to speak with the Mobile County Sheriff's Office investigator and that cold case specialist, Olivia McCarter, and find out all the ins and outs of exactly how they solved this one. Live tonight in Mobile, Shelby Myers, Fox 10 News.